Guten Tag, students. Today we're going to talk about the idea of percent change. Basically, things change and usually we either lose or gain things. And we can think about that as a percentage gain or increase or percentage loss, percentage decrease. So one topic of climate change is very common to talk about percent change. And we think about this, it represents a change in long-term weather. And either the average temperature can increase or decrease, or rainfall can increase or decrease. Same with hours of sunshine. So this is just a real-life idea that people use the idea of percent change a lot when they're speaking about it. So let's see, how does it work? Percent change is very, very, very simple in idea. We can think about the new cost minus the old cost divided by the old cost. And maybe you'll also notice that I put these absolute value marks. I use this idea as an absolute value because I'm going to decide whether it's an increase or a decrease just based on the idea. If the number goes up, it's an increase. If the number we're talking about goes down, it's a decrease. So let's take a look at an example. At a supermarket, a certain item has increased from 75 cents per pound to 81 cents per pound. What is the percent increase in the cost of the item? So for percent change, remember, just the new value minus old divided by the old value. That's exactly what we did. The new value is the 81 cents. So 81 minus the old value was 75. And when they do that, this would end up being a positive number anyways, but we're always going to think about it as a positive. So 6 divided by 75 equals 0.08. I even proved to you down here, okay? Here's the division, 6 divided by 75. 75 times 8 is 600, so perfect. And remember, to go from a decimal to percent, we move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and there we go, 8% increase. So, honestly, sometimes you're at the grocery store and you see the price has changed, it doesn't actually seem like a lot to you. Oh, just 6 cents. But if someone said it's an 8% increase, that starts to sound like it's a lot, okay? So that's why this is a very useful tool to really understand what's happening. Let's take a look at a second example of finding a discount, okay, and then even the sales price. So a lot of times you go to the store, you see, 25% off, and how do you actually figure out what that discount is? Well, we're going to use the formula of discount equals percent of discount, always as a decimal, okay, as a decimal. We need to do this. We always want to write it as a decimal times the original price. So in this case, if the discount, percent discount is 20%, we use 0.20 or 0.2 times 39.95. When we do this multiplication problem, we get our discount. The discount is $7.99. So to find the actual sales price, though, we'll take the original price, and that was $39.95, minus the discount, which is $7.99. That's what they did here. And this will give us our final sales price. So there we go. You just got to follow this formula. Make sure you're using the right numbers all the way through the problem. The last thing we'll look at is applying percent changes. So there are two ways. There's what we always want is the discount, of course, but sometimes there's also a markup. So the two types, if we look at the first formula, discount equals percent of original price. Please remember, if we do this, let's say our discount is our X, so the discount will be the percent. Now let's say it's 20%, okay, of the original price. Now when we do that, remember this is multiplication. So if the original price was $100, so you would write this as 0.2 times 100. Now, if we're thinking about markup equals percent of wholesale cost. And once again, if we do markup, we're always going to think of the percent as a decimal number. So markup would be our X. If the markup was 50%, on top of that not being very good, we'd have to change it to a decimal, so 0.5 times 100. So you're always going to change that percent into a decimal. That's the key here. But the formulas are really the same. Now, the last part of it is the final price, okay? You're always going to take that original price, and in this case, minus the discount. That's great when you have a discount. But if you want the final price when there's a markup, you take the original cost or wholesale cost, and you have to add. In this case, you're adding the markup where you are subtracting the discount. So to finish off this example, if we want to find our markup, well, 0.5 times 100 is 50. And to find the final price, we're taking the wholesale cost, which was $100, and we are adding it. Okay, we are adding the markup for a final price of $150. So use this information. Good luck.